Good morning. Good morning, good morning. I'm just looking for a green. I feel like I keep choosing ones that are really similar. You know? But I'll go with those for right now. How is everyone? It's Saturday. It's Saturday. I'm not happy with this, but I'll just do it anyways. All right, so we're going to do these poppies today here. Jessie's just seen a magpie in the backyard, so she's real hyped up to go get it. But I'm not letting her out, so she can just sit there. So I've chosen this like really bright red. So this is more like a darker, the darker one that we used for the rosebuds a couple days ago. And then I've got this like really nice bright, almost like with a tint of orange in it. But obviously there's lots of different colored poppies and you can use whichever color that you like. I've got 3 strands that I've already separated. And I'm just trying to see if I should... Oh, there's 2 out there now. She's not happy. Let me just go turn the light on and see if that makes it a little bit better. Yeah. All right, so as normal with these kinds of flowers, I like to do a little satin stitch in here, but this is going to be all about stitch direction, because if we made them all straight in a row like this, then all of the petals, individual petals, would get lost. So what we're going to do is do an extreme fan. So we did this kind of fan up here where we tucked some of the threads in. Nice time to start deciding you need a drink of water, Jessie. Jesus. Jesus help her. So all of them are going to go down to this little point here. And some of them are only going to go 2/3 of the way, and then we'll kind of tuck them under so that we can fill. Jessie. Oh my goodness. So we can fill in all of this space at the top. The ones on the side are going to be angled in sideways, and these ones here angled in sideways like that. And then the one on the top is just going to be straight down. So hopefully you can still see what I'm talking about here. She's just drank a ton of water and then gone upstairs. Good, then I don't have to deal with her. Now, the other thing that you can do with this is if you wanted to, you could do a stem stitch outline for each of the petals. So to follow that around, I would do that with 2 strands. We're using 3 strands, so I would do 1 less so that it's a really nice fine line. Now we're doing 1 down the middle. And on each side of this, we're just going to tuck them in a little bit. So they're not going to go all the way down to the bottom. And by doing this, we're going to fill up more space on the top than we will on the bottom, because there's a very small amount of space. Hi, you're not that late at all. I did start a little bit early, I'm not going to lie. Now you can go one side, then the other side, one side, then the other side if you want to, or you can just fill up one side. It's totally up to you. But we want to try and have that nice angle where they all kind of point in. I notice the only one that's gone all the way down is the middle one. All the rest are just a little bit shorter. Now this last one on the side will go all the way down. Like that. And I think I can get one more in there, just a little bit lower, not all the way down, but it'll make it look round like that. Yeah? So now I'll go and do the other side. Again, we did one that was a little bit shorter, so we're doing another one that's a little bit shorter. A little bit longer. All the way down. And then we'll do that one little one that's on the side. Just to give it shape. Because you do want it to have that rounded shape at the top, yeah? You don't want it to just be like a straight line of fan at the top. So now we'll do the sides. And for these ones, they're just gonna be, we're not angling or anything like that as far as like making some of them shorter to like stick them in. So for this one, we did do that. We made some of them shorter and we kind of tucked them in underneath a little bit. This is just a regular stem stitch. You'll go the whole length, parallel lines. Ooh, that one went a bit crazy. And it's okay to take it out if you don't like the way it looks. Like, better to do it now than later when you finish the whole thing and you go, oh, that didn't turn out very well. And we're just going straight down until we get to the tip. So we'll do just one more. One more there. And then we can move to the other side. Now again, if you wanted to do a little stem stitch outline for this, you could use the same color red, but just maybe 2 strands or even 1 strand. Or you could do a contrasting or lighter color, so that I'm just looking to see if I have any that are suitable. So if you wanted to do like a really light outline, like this is all 6 strands, you would use 1 or 2, yeah? But if you wanted to do a little outline to like show that these are separate, then you could do a stem stitch with that. Okay. Now let's do the other side. Now these flowers, they don't have to be twins, okay? They could be like sisters or cousins, you know? They look a little bit alike, but not exactly alike. That's okay too. So the biggest problem that, well, with doing these kinds of flowers where they're like symmetrical is that people say they can't get one side to look like the other side. And even with leaves, like these ones, except you angle your stitches in on each side. Maybe we'll do that here and I'll show you what I mean. But a lot of people say, I have a hard time making each side match. So one angle sometimes is like really severe and the other one is like not. So you end up with something like this. So you have a lot of like this, and then these ones are more like straighter. That's okay. Like I said, we're not here to make twins. Make like a sister or a brother or a cousin, or you can tell they're a little bit related, but like not really. They don't have to be identical. Yeah. Okay, I didn't fill that up very well, but that's okay. And then the very last ones will be these straight down. Hi to you guys who've just joined. I think I see Carrie down there and Susanna. I saw Robin earlier and Robin and my mom Robin. Now, if you're not that great at filling in the whole shape, then I definitely would suggest an outline because it will just cover up all of those lines that you haven't quite filled in, or an outer edge that's a bit wonky. So that's always good. But obviously you don't have to. It's totally up to you. Totally. David has to go food shopping today, so we're making another grocery list. And I feel like I'm at that point where I've made everything. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so I will show you how to do the stem stitch outline just in case you don't know or would like to add one but aren't really sure, because the stem stitch outline on something this small can be a little bit tricky. So let me just, like a pink maybe? Oh, that's not long enough. Or like a white. If I do a white. Or dark red. Should I do dark red? An outline? So I know I've showed this before, but with something this small, it does get a little bit tricky because you have to do really, really, really small stitches. Yeah, I'll just do a little bit of a white one. Where is that? You see, I was working on the pansy from yesterday this morning a little bit. So maybe I'll actually finish it on time. Like my own stitch along, I'll finish it on time. So the good thing about satin stitch is that you can just change the direction of your stitch and it will give a whole different look. So like I said, if we would have done straight stitches, straight up and down satin stitches, vertical, the entire way and made them parallel the entire way, you would have really lost all of the detail that is in each of the petals. Okay, so when we do the satin stitch for, or not satin stitch, the stem stitch for these, you're going to have to make, I've just done one strand, but you're going to have to make your stitches really, really small, especially around the corners. Now, if you don't make them small around the corners, you're going to get this kind of situation where you can still see that color popping out, and instead you want it to be like a line like that. So I don't think I'll do the whole thing because I'm not really sure if you want to see the whole thing. Or maybe I'll just do this one flower, and then you guys can do the other flower on your own because it's basically exactly the same thing. And you see all those little hairs there. This is why I have the tweezers, my embroidery tweezers. I just got regular tweezers, and you can really pick off all of those tiny little hairs. Because I have a husky mix dog and she sheds so much. I might make up the kits that will go out on Monday, do some of them because I'm still missing needles. And I might make some of those like until lunchtime. And then for the rest of the day, like work on the house because I don't think I've done laundry or swept the floor. I haven't swept the floor in like 2 weeks. Hi, George. Happy Saturday. Yeah, I haven't swept the floor in like 2 weeks. And then I have to do laundry today as well. So maybe it's just going to be like a house day. You know? She is cute, Susanna. I'm not going to lie. But oh my God, the amount of hair. Happy weekend. I wish we could see each other. I miss you. But yeah, the amount of hair that girl has, Jesus Christ. It's like me when I was little. Me now. Thank you. So this is just one strand. You can see the, just makes a really small outline. But it also really like encloses those stitches so you can see the actual shape of the flower. And sorry, I keep moving my hand in front. But you really, really, really need to make your stitches small, like really small. So if this is like too much of a ball ache for you, then that's totally fine. Totally fine. But I'm just here to present the options, okay? The options are, and on the back I've pulled through some of the knot. So there you go. That's what it would look like. Susanna says she's always trying to speak. I say huskies don't bark. They try to speak. Yes, she's always talking. She loves it so much. Right now, she's just laying on the floor, just staring at me like, let me outside. Let me go get those magpies. The magpies she doesn't like, and we have a bunch of seagulls around, which I don't know why we have seagulls around, because we are nowhere near the sea in Birmingham, but we have some seagulls around, and she really hates those. They must be like extra sassy or something, the seagulls, because she's not having it. When they fly around, she's like, rah, 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 rah. I do find that one strand is so much slower than any of the other ones, but that's okay. That's why I was a bit like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do the outline. Just tell you that you can do it. But on the corners, you really have to make your stitches smaller. A lot smaller. That hunts seagulls. Susanna says, my aunt had a Cocker Spaniel that hunts seagulls. Oh my. Yeah, Jessie caught a bird once. And then put it down like, I don't know what to do with you now. And then it flew away. This is really annoying when it becomes loose. There you go. Now, obviously I could have made mine even a little bit smaller because I'm still getting the lift on the corner right there. Yeah. So I could have made them even smaller yet. But I'm going to leave that for now, and then you can choose if you want to. Obviously, if you do the stem stitch, you need to do all 4 petals. You can't just do 2 and then call it a day. So I'm going to let you choose if you want to do the stem stitch outline. You can use any color that you'd like. I obviously just chose a white or an off-white that I had laying around. Only because it's so slow. Susanna says, it was like going outside and think, will there be a dead bird? Because cockers are hunters. And that one was one. Oh, goodness. And that cocker spaniel was a hunter. Yeah, Jessie, the next door neighbors, they used to have chickens. And for some reason, she would always like run to the back fence like all the time. And we found out it's because the rats were out there and they would try to get the chicken food and get the chicken eggs and stuff. And the neighbor said that they had to move the chickens out in the country somewhere because the rats were like so bad. I feel like this is so close and I've used this color before. Let me choose a different one. Maybe like a bright green. Of course, I've just bumped it with my elbow. Like this one. Yeah, we didn't use a bright green yet. And I'll do 3 strands of this as well. 1, there's 4 on here. But yeah, anyways, one day there's a hole in the back of the fence that's been there since we bought the house. I just painted over it thinking that it would be fine. And one day Jessie was back there like rummaging around and I was like, get away from there, what are you doing? And out popped a rat and Jessie ate it. She didn't eat it, but she like caught it in her mouth and then spat it out and was like, I didn't know what that was, but I got it. That wasn't a very fun day, like at all. But yeah, they moved their chickens. That's my story. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna do, let's see here. Yeah, not a very nice story, was it? Susanna said, oh my God. Yeah, I saw her grab something and I ran out there and she was a bit like spat it out like, ew, I don't know what this is. My go-to is always a stem stitch for these here, but let's do like a little split stitch. And the split stitch, did you remember from yesterday's pansy? Hi, Eleanor. You're just gonna make tiny little stitches and your next stitch is gonna go into that stitch. So into the stitch, into it like that. Looks a bit obscene, but there you go, into it. And it's going to give the look of the chain stitch a little bit. Hey, Kim. On with the show says, the neighbor's cat brought me a lizard this morning. That's nice. What a gift. A lizard gift. So the split stitch is good for, you can do lettering with it, you can do stems, all kinds of stuff. Kim says, how are you getting on? Oh my gosh. I don't even want to say because I feel like yesterday was such a shit show. Ugh. And so I've just finished the first one, yeah? But I like to add one more because in the end, you end with a regular straight stitch, a regular stitch, but that's not split. And I think sometimes that looks a little bit weird. So I like to end with splitting that one, so you get a little half stitch on the end, and it looks like you've done it all the way around. Susanna says, I've volunteered in a dog shelter and we had rats everywhere. They went for the dog food and sometimes someone screamed and ran like crazy, so we know who was afraid of them. Well, there you go. On with the show says, yeah, the cat is too cute. I thanked him and set that poor lizard free. All right, so for these here, you can do the same thing as this and just do an outline. You can fill the whole thing up with a split stitch. It's a really nice stitch for filling things because it gives a nice texture, I guess. Because the satin stitch is really smooth, as you can see this. There's not really any texture there. But this one, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, let's do that. Then you can see how it looks, like filled in a space. Kim says today will be better. Yeah, so after the whole, I'm sure you've seen my stories with the lady took my stitch along listing and is selling it, and someone's actually purchased it. So God knows what that person actually purchased. And she's been reported, and I had like 10 messages yesterday from random people on Etsy just saying, hey, I saw your listing in this other person's shop. And I'm like, yep, I know. I've reported and everything. I haven't done like the IP infringement yet because I kind of wanted her to just take it down herself so we didn't have to get Etsy involved, you know, because I just feel like the more that you involve Etsy, the more it just, I don't know, it's just like a big hassle. So I've messaged her twice and she hasn't said anything, but I know that she's seen the messages because she's actually lowered the price on her stitch along, like on my listing, her listing of my listing, if that makes any sense. And, it was a day yesterday, day. I don't want to like continue complaining because like there's, like I said to my friend Maria, I was like, there's like much worse things happening in the world, but still. Now you can fill it in like this, straight across, or you can kind of do like the contour of the leaf. So meaning that it kind of goes around and around and around and around until there's no space left. Kim says you should do. It's your intellectual property and it's a shitty thing. Mr. Outlines is tiling our kitchen and I'm staying upstairs until he's done. Ooh, that's exciting. I love stuff like that. I'm already looking to see what else I can change in our house. I just want to like paint something or do something. Olivia says, I can't believe someone could do that. And On With The Show says, is it possible she bought it from you and she's reselling? So I did think that, and so I went and searched her name in all of my sold things. I didn't see anything, but it's possible that she bought it like under a different name and, it's just selling it there. But other people have bought what she's selling, like the PDF things, just so that they could write a review. So maybe that's what I'll have to do, is to just buy one so that I really don't want to, because I don't want to waste $10 on it, you know? You'd think like after you were caught, you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, she has. So, if you know Lark Rising, one of her patterns is on there. And then Slow Evening Designs or Slow Evening Embroidery, one of her patterns is on there. And then there's a book about weaving, and that just got taken down. So it's just, and then when she when someone did a review about it and said that like this is my like intellectual property and she's like taken it, she replied to the review and was like, this person is trying to ruin the reputation of the seller. Like, no, hon, you did that on your own. You did that on your own by like not selling your own things, by reselling other people's stuff. So piss off. Exactly. And like, because like I've sent her 2 messages so far, and in the morning when I saw it, the stitch along was like $10.70 or something, and now she's lowered it to $8.99. Come on. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. I really didn't want to make it long, so I've just done the 1.5, I guess, because I didn't do the stem stitch all the way. But that is the split stitch to fill in a straight line like this, but then also the leaves. So this is another one where if you feel like your edges aren't very nice, and I'm talking about right here, then of course you can do a little, you could do a split stitch outline. You can do a stem stitch outline on it. You could just leave it like that. That's totally fine. Like whatever you feel like doing, like do that. I feel like we've learned a lot of stitches so far. So this is kind of the time where you get to have a think of whatever stitches we've done and think, well, what can I do to add to this? Like there's so much more I could add to this flower, I'm not gonna lie. Like you could do some darker little bursts here. Let me get out like the sword thing. I always call it the sword because it's a freaking huge needle. You could do like some dark straight stitches here and kind of coming out like that. You could add some black little, these things coming out from the top. You can outline in a different color to make a bit of contrast. You could do half, meaning you could do half split stitch in a light green and half split stitch in a dark green. You can outline in a darker color. You can add some details like these on top of your split stitch. So you could do just a straight line like that. You could do a line from the tip all the way to the other tip. There's so much more that you could do with these. So I'm having a hard time not being like, oh, and then do this, and then do this, and then do this. Because I tend to go a little over the top with my flowers and my stitching because I just want to add more details, more details, more details. So, yeah, so many ideas. So I'm going to let you choose what you want to do with this, especially after we've just done such a intricate flower here. You might feel like, sod it, I'm not doing that, you know? And that's fine too. Because you don't want to get to a place where you're like, I hate this. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired. Too many details, too much stuff, too many thread colors. You know, you don't want to feel frustrated. You want to go just enough until you're like, I'm happy with it. Yeah? Because we don't want to like put you off embroidery by doing too much. So there we go. This is what we've got so far. We only have 2 days left. Only 2 days left. Like I said before, this one will be a bit more satin stitch. It's a bunch of pinks. So get all your pink colors out. And then this one is like a mustardy deep color. And it's called yarrow. These little poofy clouds. So I hope you guys have a lovely Saturday. If you do anything exciting, tag me. Or if you do anything not even exciting, tag me. Because I feel like we just need a little bit of interaction, you know? Love a mustard. Me too, Kim. It's probably one of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, tag me with what you're doing today. And we'll see if we can get a little chain going or something, you know? So have a lovely Saturday. Today will be better than yesterday, right? I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye.